Hey, AfterBuzzers, you're tuned into the Vice Principal's After Show. We're going to be talking about Episode 8, Gin. One more episode left, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
We're back. Woo, took a break for Labor Day. Now we're back.
Here we are.
Kelsey is on vacation.
She's out and about in the world. Hi,
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Hey,
See you
we
next
miss
week.
you. Yeah.
Mwah.
But until then, hey, where can we find you on the internet, Tamra?
Tamra Brown at Brown Tamra on Twitter. Tamra_blue on the Instagrams.
Woohoo! And you can find me, Kelly McInerney, at Holly Weirdo on Twitter and Instagram, or Snapchat, Kelly McInerney, but with 3 L's. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Before we get into the episode, I just want to talk about something that's coming up next week. If you don't watch this show, or I think you could watch it beforehand, the Emmys are coming up.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah. In the history of television, it's never been so funny, so dramatic, so good. Think about all the shows that are on right now. There's House of Cards, Modern Family, Downton Abbey, Game of Thrones, Blackish, Homeland, Veep, Transparent, Silicon Valley. I love that show. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I mean, it's really the golden age of TV right now. Don't forget The Americans, Master of None. That's a good one too. So next Sunday, September 18th, television's greatest night is the biggest live event of the year. You can watch the show that celebrates great television, the Emmy Awards. There's no better night to watch the best of the best face off and see if your favorite shows win. Fingers crossed for Silicon Valley. I like that one. Plus, you can see what everyone's wearing on the red carpet. That's always fun. Who looks as hot in real life as they do on their shows. Or ugly, you know? No, I'm just kidding. So it'll be, so there will be so be there when one of the funniest men on TV, Jimmy Kimmel, I like his show too, hosts the Emmys live next Sunday, September 18th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Wow, that's early.
Yep.
So you could definitely watch the Emmys and then watch us next week for the finale. Speaking of, second to last episode, Gin. Wow.
Whoa, what an episode.
What a
I'm a little stressed out right now. I feel a little hurt, like somebody I care about has been wronged. That was an intense episode.
Very cruel. Like, just when I was starting to like Gamby, you know? Mm-hmm. Why? Ugh. But I guess let's start from the beginning. So basically, Dr. Brown thinks she's forming a good relationship with her ex-husband. You know, he's getting along really well with the kids. They go to the aquarium and everything. She's like, hey, after the winter concert, you guys want to go for Olive Garden? He's like, hey, actually, we want to move back to Philly. Yeah. Want to move back to Philly, which is like, what? Were you expecting?
Poor Belinda. Well, everything was a little too sweet, too fast with them.
Yeah.
Like, he came back at the end of last episode. Everything was really nice. And that scene at the aquarium, like, it was just a little too perfect, too quick. So I bet we all kind of knew that things were going to crumble pretty quick. But it's just it's so sad to see Belinda handling it like that.
Yeah, and
such a strong lady.
She is.
If you want to go, then go.
But, like, the kids don't even care. It's, after all, I think she seems like such a good mom. And I guess when you're that young, though, you kind of get easily brainwashed by, like, oh, he's nice whenever he's here.
Well, and ultimately, like, they want to go home. They want to go back to their school with their friends. And they had said when we were first introduced to her kids that they didn't like living in, I always forget if it's North or South Carolina, but they don't like living there. They want to go back to Philadelphia. So I mean, I guess it's insulting to a parent no matter what if your kids want to live with the other parent, but it's probably more to do with
going home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. And while that's going on, Gamby is also having some, not really that big issues with his daughter. He finds out that she doesn't want to do motocross. I'm not sure if she's being honest or if she's just saying
she's
that.
Hurt because she.
Yeah. Do you think like she's just saying that because she's hurt or because that's what
like
Dad says?
She probably feels that way right now, just because after that she You know, as soon as something bad happens, you're like, I hate this, I'll never do it again. And then once she calms down, she'll want to do it again.
Yeah. We'll see.
Is that what you think?
I don't know. I feel like she was maybe just saying it because her dad was being very like, you're going to kill yourself. You're going to not be able to walk again. Blah, blah, blah. Like, he's really selling.
He's being Gamby.
How dangerous it was. Yeah. I guess it is, but like, practice makes perfect. I think she doesn't want to do it anymore because she thinks she's so bad.
Yeah.
But she could improve.
She also might be a kid. I mean, we don't get too dimensional into her character, but like, she gave up horseback riding pretty quick. She might be a kid that just moves from like, okay, I've done this for 6 months. I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah, yeah. So they have a nice little date with Miss Snodgrass at the fair. I wish we saw more of like how Janelle feels about Miss Snodgrass. You know, we didn't really see any of that.
Yeah.
It was kind of a quick date.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think I said to you when we were watching it, like, that was quick. Like, just like, I mean, these episodes aren't consecutive. Like, it's not like we were picking up the week after the last episode. I think they're jumping ahead months because there was one line tonight that was like, I know. Was it when he was talking about how long the husband was here, or was it when he was
the
talking
hotel.
about the hotel? They've been there for months and months.
Yeah.
So like, I think we're jumping months ahead with each episode, but like, it seemed even still like to have the person you're dating meet your kid. That seemed abrupt to me. What do you
and
think?
I don't think it was that many months because her face was still not very healed.
Right.
At least compared to last episode.
Yeah. No, you're right. So it wasn't that long. So it was extremely fast.
Yeah, it was weird.
And I still don't buy, like, their relationship is just so forced to me.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It's weird, and that's why, like, Miss Abbott was like, I kind of agreed with her when she's like, she's just trying to make Hayden jealous, because I feel like that's the only thing that I could make sense of why Snodgrass would go, because she seems like a smart lady, but he's not a smart guy.
No.
You know?
And she's a lady that knows the difference between somebody who does and does not respect women, and he definitely doesn't. So I think more so than getting back at Hayden, she's hurt by what happened with them, and she's in that like self-hating phase where she's with the person that's you know, destructive.
Yeah. And so he has a big confrontation with Snodgrass, like confronting her about Hayden, and he tells her about Abbott just sucking her dick, just putting it out, like being very Gamby about it. He has a very like I know you mentioned it before, like he has a very childlike like a little
he's
kid.
like, well, I'm not, you are, you know, like just those kind of like just reactionary. He's not a man that thinks about what he says before. He just operates on emotions immediately, and it's always like,
are we broken up? Blah blah blah. Like,
like just
a fight.
Not considering any sort of adult feelings in anything.
And but he's improving at least with his job because Dr. Belinda offers him the only vice principal job, chief accountability officer, and she would fire Lee Russell, who she calls him bitch, and so does his mother-in-law.
Loved that part. I loved the little old lady going, bitch boy. Is that what she said? Bitch boy. That was great.
So
loved
good.
that. And then he pushes her.
Yeah.
Of course, this show always has to go like
south.
It's like the one character can't, you know, she has this like somebody's being mean to Lee Russell, and they can't just get away with it. Like, he has to have the final awful thing.
And you think like I wish Gamby would realize that Lee's not a good guy, because like look at how well your job's going. You're doing, because I feel like Gamby loves his job, whereas Lee, I don't know what he loves.
So are we there yet when Lee says that what if I killed myself?
Oh yeah, we could, like what do you so he had a fight with his wife.
Yeah.
And just mentioned that.
That line seemed very real to me. Like, I don't feel like he was threatening. I feel like he's a person that, like, but doesn't care about his job all that much. All he cares about is just he just has, like, this, you know, whatever's best for me. I've never trusted anybody else. I always just look out for number one.
That's what he said to Gamby, too. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm just selfish, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I did. That was a very jarring line because it came out of completely left field. But also, it kind of works with his character. Like, I could see that character just being like, is thinking about that. It's not just a threat.
It's weird. So, for some reason, because he apologizes to Gamby, and Gamby takes that as like, oh, he's my friend, because I feel like Gamby's so simple-minded. So he decides to not take the job, and instead continue sabotaging Dr. Brown. And this was like, I feel like the worst sabotage ever, because it was a terrible day for her. You know, she lost her kids. We found out earlier in the episode she doesn't drink because gin almost ruined her life.
She's got Tanqueray tattoo on her back.
Yeah. So
does Kelly, but she can at least handle it. It's just because
it's actually
Cancun.
Tequila. I don't like gin, but it's a Patron one. But yeah. So he meets with her after the after the winter dance or whatever concert, to be like, yeah, I'll take the job, and tempts her with gin, and she just goes crazy.
Oh my gosh, that scene was so hard to watch. Just like the anticipation once they're both there in the restaurant and you know what's about to happen is just so, oh, it's so painful to see, like, you're really going to ruin somebody. Like, they don't just want to get her out of that job. They want to ruin her life. And it's just, that is what is so difficult about this show, is that it's like, these are not just mean people. They're just like evil. Yeah. That's an evil thing to do to somebody.
And even when they were there, I kept thinking like, oh, Gamby's going to back out. Oh, he's going to take her home. He pulled down her dress, you know? I was like, okay, he's realizing. Like, I still couldn't believe that it was still happening.
And that's also, I guess, kind of the childness about him, the childlike nature of him, is that, like, he is like the like 12-year-old boy that's watching his 14-year-old friend, you know, murder a puppy. And is like, this is not okay, but I don't have the strength to stop it. You know, like, that's what that scene felt like to me.
Ugh, it was awful. And then, so they meet Lee Russell outside. She pees on a cop car and falls down. It was just like, oh, God. Yeah. I cannot, every episode one-ups itself with how much more sympathy I can have for Dr. Brown. Yeah. It's insane. Like, I feel so bad for... I was starting to like Gamby, though, last episode. Yeah. You know? And now it's just like, you're still an asshole. They recorded it, and that's where the episode left us. I'm really worried about Dr. Brown. Yep. I hope Gamby... I'm still hoping that Gamby changes, like, realizes that he doesn't want to do this. Realizes that his job's important and she's a good person. What do you think?
Is this like predictions?
Yeah, let's go into predictions.
Let's go into predictions now.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Yay! I think I was kind of mesmerized for a second, and I was just like, oh yeah, back into it. Okay. I gotta say, Gamby has been on this like sort of positive upswing, even though he stood idly by while this awful evil thing is happening to Dr. Brown. I think this final episode next week, he is going to make sure that video is destroyed. I think he's going to save the night. Make sure that her reputation isn't tarnished. I think that's what's going to happen.
I think that too, but I think it's going to be like the last possible like they're going to get so close to showing the video or something. Like, he's literally going to take his time because he's such like a little baby. He's like, I don't know if this is the right thing, you know. And then,
he's a little bitch.
Yeah. And I don't know if him and Snodgrass are going to last. I kind of hope they don't.
No.
Because
he doesn't. It's in real life, a dude like Gamby would never in a million years be with a woman like Snodgrass. Yeah. It's a made-for-TV pairing, but also it's just it's temporary. Yeah. All signs point to it being temporary.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, is there anything else you would like to add about the episode?
I think the boys are going to end up staying with Dr. Brown too, her sons, because Mario and Lou Louis.
Luigi? Is it?
I think it's Mario and Louis. I think it's like slightly not Mario and Luigi, or maybe it's like Luigi and.
I know it's Mario. I think.
Yeah. Anyway, the way that the dad, like, just as they're leaving, and they lock the doors on the dad and are laughing, like it's foreshadowing, like she's been putting up with this shit for so long, and just 30 seconds of him, the dad, alone with the boys is already like too much for him to take. So it's probably he's probably not going to be lasting long being the single dad. So I have a feeling either the boys are going to come back to be with Belinda, or maybe Gamby and Lee will get her out and humiliated and everything, and she'll be gone, but it'll be like, well, good, my boys need me in Philadelphia anyway. Yeah. So
I think he brings the boys to her, though, because he probably can't handle it. I don't think they want to go back to her. I think he doesn't realize how much of a job it is to be a parent, because he hasn't been around.
For sure.
But we'll find out. One more episode left.
One more.
Woo!
It's gonna be a doozy.
I know. Until next week. Tamra, where can we find you on the internet?
Tamra Brown on Google.
Yeah, and you can find me, Kelly McInerney, at HollyWeirdo on Twitter and Instagram, or Snapchat, Kelly McInerney with 3 L's. Bye!
Yay!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.